I'm Katherine and I am the Specialist Allied Health Recruitment Consultant for Keenan. With me today is Laura Lee, and she'll be popping into the chat all the useful and helpful links so you can follow along and stay on our socials. And Laura Lee specialises in recruitment of social workers. So we've been in the game a while, so any questions that you do have, feel free to pop them into the chat too. I know I was speaking to Tracy and she's just wrapping up at the end of hers. So I know there's final placements, there's exams, but you're nearly at the end. It's nearly all done and dusted. So today what I wanted to do was have a chat with you and tell you a bit more about what Keenan can offer you as allied health professionals. These are our socials. So the first is our Facebook. We've got Twitter, Keenan Recruitment website, the LinkedIn, and also my personal LinkedIn, and then our contact details too. So that's our telephone number and our email address. These are a great way to stay up to date with our current vacancies. So all our live vacancies get popped up on our socials and our website, and then also our student engagement. So more recently, we've done a video with Orla Buchanan, who is a specialist public health nutritionist. And you can check out the video that I did with her on YouTube. So she covered some top tips for students studying nutrition. And Laura Lee also did a great video with her on celiac awareness. And then prior to that, I've done a question and answer with Annika, one of our Band 5 occupational therapists, who's currently working in the Antrim Hospital. And basically we went over how she found transitioning from graduation and being a student into employment, and so in the middle of the pandemic. And then what we'll be covering today. So we'll be looking at the marketplace in Northern Ireland for allied health professionals. Why choose Keenan as your recruitment agency, how to plan for after graduation, some practical advice and support, including CV tips, and then also how to register with Keenan. So the marketplace in Northern Ireland. The marketplace for us is largely public sector. So our largest client would be the Health and Social Care Service of Northern Ireland. That includes all 5 trusts. So you've got Belfast, South Eastern, Southern, Northern and Western. We are a contracted supplier to the NHS, which means we supply staff for a range of different posts from Band 5 all the way up to Band 7. So since 2021, we are delighted to have brought on new private clients, which means that we're able to provide a bit more choice for you for whenever you're choosing your next post. So on board, we've got Alliance Medical for radiographers. So we would supply permanent radiographers to them throughout Ireland, north and south. And then we've also got the physio group on board, who are a leading physiotherapy and sports injury clinic, who specialise in musculoskeletal physiotherapy. And they've got clinics based in Newry, Belfast and Newcastle, County Down. So there's a range of different posts that you can go into in both private and public sector. So there's a good bit of choice there. So what posts do we actually recruit for? So we have full-time ongoing contracts for the public sector, and then we've got full-time permanent posts for the private sector. These can be based in a number of different settings. So within community, you've got intermediate care, rehabilitation and reablement. In hospital and acute settings, you've got being in the wards, discharge teams, inpatient clinics as well. And then for mental health settings, we've got Magabry and Hyde Bank prisons, and then also lockup settings, for example, in Knockbracken. So you'll be familiar with a lot of them from your placement experience. So it just gives you a wide range of posts and areas and teams that you can join. So why Keenan? So what sets us apart from all the other agencies that are here today? So we are a contracted top-tier supplier of allied health staff to the NHS, which means that we get jobs, all the same jobs through, all the vacancies through, and then we'll mail them out to you and you can choose what vacancies to go forward for. We, as a recruitment agency, have a duty of care to our staff and our employees. So we do offer a free and confidential financial wellbeing package. What this is a professional external body who is a qualified financial advisor, and they can help you along with any mortgage applications that you're doing, any student debt that you have, or if you're looking to budget plan or anything like that, they can help you. It's a really good service, and you can opt in or opt out of that whenever you start your post. So they supply some really great advice on any money issues. I know I'm still going through the student debt, and I've been graduated about 5 years now, so they're really helpful to have. And like I say, it's completely confidential and it's complimentary. You also have a dedicated recruitment consultant, which is myself. So you're not past pillar to post. It'll be me dealing with you from registration all the way through to placing you in a post, and then also checking in with you later on down the line to make sure everything's okay. You'll be building a relationship with myself, and any problems or issues that you have or any advice that you're seeking, you just come straight to me. It's handy as well because it means that we've brought through, or I've brought through the staff and can advise if you're looking for to go to a different team or anything like that, on what experience our other staff have had. With that, you do one application. Whenever you're registering with us, it is one application for both public sector and private sector, so it covers you for both. You just complete your registration pack, and then any post that you're interested in, it means you can go either way, either private or public, and there's not multiple applications and going back and forth. We also supply the free Fit to Work certificate, so you'll need this for any NHS setting that you work in. What this will be will go along with your immunisation history and your Fit to Work documentation, yes, and we will guide you through the process. That's just to make sure that you're fully protected, and so are your patients and service users. With using agency recruitment, it does provide career progression opportunities in the sense that you can try different teams, you can try different areas that maybe you're on placement and COVID-19 cut it short, or your experience went online rather than being in a ward or a setting. It means you can try different teams, figure out where you like, where you don't like, or what you want to stay clear of, or what you know going forward for your permanent post that, yes, this is what I'm really passionate about. We also offer a free CV writing service, and also interview prep for whenever you go for your permanent posts. If you ever want to run anything by us, more than happy to chat it over with you. Ultimately, we want you to use us as a stepping stone to your permanent place. So maybe while you're waiting for your BSO waitlist number to come up, you're gaining experience in an agency post, so that whenever you get your permanent post, you're flying. Okay. So how to plan for after graduation. So first of all, have a think about what placements you've enjoyed the most. A great way of doing this is just talking with each other, bouncing off each other, finding out what somebody else experienced in the same placement as you, or even talking to your peers, getting some advice from them. What do they think you excelled in? And yeah, just figuring out what areas you want to develop upon. And then after that is your HCPC registration, or your Core U registration if you want to work in the Republic of Ireland. So the HCPC registration, I know you can't apply for that until you've got your degree certificate. So just make sure you've got the application forms downloaded, you are ready to go once that certificate comes in. And then that means that then your process is a bit more streamlined. Since the pandemic, we have noticed that registrations are becoming a bit more smoother, just with everything being online. So yeah, you're looking at least 2 months after you've got your degree that your CPC will come through. With the Core U registration, I do know that is a wee bit slower. So just get them applied for as soon as you can. With Core U registration, you should expect to see that around October time. Another pointer is talk to professionals. So now's the time to be building your network, getting on LinkedIn, making yourself visible and active. If you do get on LinkedIn, just look out for potential managers that are in the trust or even private sector. It's great to connect with them and see what they're sharing. Maybe they're sharing job opportunities, or they're sharing some information that you can keep up to date with. Really helpful to stay connected with them. And if you are sending them a connection request, just send a wee message beside it just to say, would love to build my network. I hope you accept my request. It just shows a wee bit of initiative, and then you're on their radar. They've seen that you've taken a step to build your network. And then finally, just gather all of your important documents in a folder so that you're ready to apply for jobs. So this will include your CV, copies of your passport, proof of address, proof of national insurance, immunisation history. Just have it all in one document or in one folder so you're ready to go and apply for your jobs and your registrations. So some CV tips. Everybody loves this bit. So CV, the first thing is make sure your name is the title of the CV. Managers are going to be getting applications and CVs in the hundreds for one job. Make sure your name is the first thing, and then you can write CV 2021. The amount of CVs that do come in that just say CV 2021 and you don't know who it is until you click into it. Just make that time a little bit shorter for your manager so they can straight away be like, okay, this is set apart. Your CV layout. So firstly, make sure all your contact details are on the top. So that'll be your name, your phone number, your email address, and if you want, you can put your home address in there too. We do write a profile, so we do a summary of your experience and what you're interested in. But if you could write a profile as well, just to be a few hard-hitting sentences, what your goals are, where you want to develop, what experience you want to gain, and obviously in the end contribute to the team. And then after that, do your education. So at the top, just make sure you've got your most recent education. You start with that and then you work your way down to high school. There's no need to put in your grades apart from your university degree. Put the grade in for that. And then all the other ones, you can just say A level, 3 A levels attained, or 10 GCSEs obtained, and including maths and English. There's no need to write the subjects or the grades that you got. Then after that is your placement experience. So make sure your placement experience is as detailed as possible. So that includes writing what setting it's in, how long you were in it, everything you did. So everything you observed, everything you were involved in. If there was any CPD, webinars or seminars that you did alongside your placement, or you took direction, or you were involved in a new study, get it all in there. That's what the managers want to see from a newly qualified allied health professional, is just all that placement experience in front of them. And then after that, if you've had any paid work experience, so that could be either full-time or part-time jobs, just summarise them, what duties you had. And if you've done any voluntary work, get that in there as well. Make sure that it is as relevant as possible to what you're applying for. So for examples, oh, sorry, it just came up with a notification that it was ending. For example, that'll be for physios that say they've volunteered at their local sports club, they can write all of that down. So it is really handy to have. And then your practical advice and support. So first and foremost, if you haven't already, join your professional body. Employers want to see this, and it's important that you stay up to date and current with the news in your discipline. And then use agency to try different areas. Like I said before, we recruit for a number of different posts in a number of different teams and areas, locations. Just try areas that you want to build upon and use this to your best advantage. So whenever you're going for your permanent post, you've got all this experience to back you up. Or you can say, I've tried this and I really, really want to go for this, or I've tried this area and I'm not too sure about it. And then also join support networks and student hubs to share your information or your experiences with other students. And the HCPC have a really good student hub. It just means that you've got that student community around you, and then you can find out how other students got on from different placements, or maybe from when they have graduated and they're going into their first post. It's just a nice way of staying connected. And then social media, I'm sure you've all been preached that many times before about this. So make sure you stay visible and you keep it clean. So by that I mean, so stay visible, be active on LinkedIn, set up a profile, get as many details up on that as possible so that managers can quickly refer to it. And then keep it clean. Make sure all your personal accounts are very, very private. Make sure nothing is shared that you don't want a potential manager to see, because they do check that out. They do check your socials, and with everything being online recently, they will check social media and your accounts. The HCPC do a good blog on social media and think before you post, and in that they talk about posting as a healthcare professional. So people are going to be looking to you for healthcare advice, and this blog goes through. You just need to be mindful of what you're sharing, because people do look up to you and take your word over anybody else's. And when it comes to health, and especially with the pandemic, people are a lot more aware and active on social media, so they will trust whatever you say. So just be mindful of that if you're ever posting any advice. Make sure it's accurate. So how do you register? What I'm doing is I'm offering one-to-one sessions, which means I'll initially have a phone call with you just to find out what post you're interested in, what location you are. And then after that, I'll send you out the registration pack. In that, you will have your, excuse me, registration form, monitoring form, and then I'll ask for all your proof of right to work documents, alongside that with your immunisation history. And then it will ask you to apply for your Access NI check. Be mindful that each Access NI check that you do is £33, and you'll need that to work in any NHS setting, excuse me, and they are non-transferable. And then you also need to complete your Fit to Work documentation, which I can guide you through, alongside your immunisation history. And then what I'll do is I'll set up an informal Zoom. Really, it's a chit chat. It's just to find out a bit more about you, what areas you like, what you liked about your last placements, what you disliked about your other placements. Maybe if there's client groups that you're not too fond on working with, we can go over that. It's just so I know these details so I can match to the best post. And then what I do is I'll get you added to the mailing list to be notified of all vacancies coming through. So these vacancies will be both private and public. And if you are ever interested in any of the vacancies put through to you, or you want to find out a bit more, just drop me a message. Can I have a job description of this? Or yes, can you put my CV forward? It's a great way of finding out where's busy and what's going on, what posts are coming through. We also use the mailing list to reach out to our staff to keep them involved in what we're doing as an agency. So we would be involved in a lot of voluntary work with local charity organisations such as MACS, Autism NI, and also NSPCC. We think it's really important as a company that not only that we look after the team and the service users you support, but also that we're able to give back to the community too. So we do encourage our staff to get involved whenever they can with our fundraising and awareness activities. So if you're ever on it, you'll see on our socials that we're actually working with NSPCC for their Childhood Day, and we're giving away a Build-A-Bear. So there's always opportunities to get involved and get fundraising or raising awareness. So it's a really nice touch to get involved with the community. So a bit about student events Keenan has coming up. From talking to students coming through from the last year and from this year, what we've heard is that a lot have missed the actual thrills of the graduation day and the ceremony and the photograph being taken. So as an agency, we've decided to offer a complimentary graduation photo shoot. This will include your photograph being taken by a professional photographer, and then you'll get to wear your gown and have your certificate as a prop. And then you'll receive 2 portraits of your photo. We also run a question and answer series. So Laura Lee and myself would do this on a monthly basis. And this is where we'll jump on video and we'll answer any questions sent through to us by candidates or anybody interested in working in agency recruitment. And we answer those questions, that what it's like, what sort of rights you have, what sort of issues you might come up against. And we just try and give the best tips and advice there. And if you do have any questions on that, you can submit them via info@keenanrecruitment.co.uk. And if you just keep an eye out on our socials, we share that on a monthly basis. So that's all I have for you today. So we've covered a wide range of topics there. I've just put up the socials again so you can follow along with us and stay up to date with all our current vacancies. Laura Lee has posted in the chat there a quick registration form that you can complete. So all you need to do is put your name and your number down and what profession you're studying, and then I can get in touch with you for the one-to-one session. And any questions you have or you want to run by me, I'm more than happy to answer. Does anybody have any questions now?
No, you've covered quite a lot there, so you have, Katherine.
Yeah.
Can I ask, if you're awaiting your registration,
Yeah.
are you able to work on ahead as a Band 4 until your registration comes through, or what way does that work?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can work as a Band 4. We would get, say, occupational therapy assistant posts through, and also physio assistant posts. Yes, and it's a great way to build your experience while you're waiting for your HCPC to come through. Brilliant, yeah.
That's grand, thank you.
Okay. Folks, I won't keep you any longer. I know it's been a long day for you, and I know you're in the middle of final placements and exams and everything. So I really, really do appreciate your time today and jumping on and hearing what I have to say. So if you do have any questions about anything I've chatted about, please just get in touch. I'm more than happy to run over it with you. And then we can get you added to the mailing list and you can see what vacancies are coming through while you're waiting for your registrations. All the best with the rest of the year. I'm sure it's been a long time coming, so congratulations on all your hard work so far, and hopefully I'll be talking to you soon enough.
Thanks, Katherine.
Great, thank you.
All right, thanks.
But